Hello there, Roster Watch Nation. Friendly neighbor Trashman back for another Best Ball Mania 3 draft. So if you're out there and you want to play along, join this draft with me. So here I'm on the UnderdogFantasy.com site, Best Ball Mania 3 contest, 30 seconds per pick. Enter. So we're waiting for 2 people. So if you're out there and you want to play, there are a couple spots left. And this draft will be using the Ultimate Best Ball Cheat Sheet version 5.4. Hopefully it holds up. A lot has been happening in the NFL over the past couple days. So we'll see where we need to pivot. Hopefully, though, this cheat sheet should serve us well. So draft is starting in about a minute. And it's when these drafts start to get exciting to me, is when when we're seeing all these moves made in the NFL. Well, all these moves, I mean, people getting injured, I guess. But also people, getting added to rosters because of those injuries. And, camp starting, we're starting to at least see how some of these depth charts might be shaping up. I was just in Chicago for Bears camp for a couple days, kind of get a beat on how that offense is shaping up. Okay, so I'm drafting here at the 10 spot. And to be honest, I'm not terribly excited about the Bears offense. Outside of David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert, I think it's going to be the offense is going to be heavily predicated on the run. David Montgomery, especially. David Montgomery was catching a lot more passes than I expected to see in Bears camp. So, and he looked good. He looked powerful. He looked strong, and he was effective. So, I like David Montgomery where I can get him in drafts right now because I think he's going to beat his ADP. Justin Fields, he was kind of up and down. First day I saw him, pretty on point. Second day, when they were in pads, not so much. And I think a lot of it was because of the offensive line there in Chicago. It's not very good. So Fields is going to have to extend plays with his feet if the Bears are going to succeed, or if he's going to succeed on our fantasy teams. And if you know me, I love running backs that throw touchdowns, so more power to him. But that offensive line, like I said, is not going to help him out very much. And his receivers weren't helping him out very much. I mean, it seemed like – hold on just a sec. Let's see what the cheat sheet says to do here. CeeDee Lamb here, I think, for me. With what's happening with that Dallas offense right now, CeeDee Lamb, I think, is going to go gangbusters. He's going to have to. That second pick, let's see. The cheat sheet says there. It says Devontae Adams, or does it say Mike Evans if he's available there? Mike Evans is right behind him. All right, I'm going to go with Devontae Adams here, mainly because I think it'll be easier to make a Vegas stack later on. Devontae Adams, Derek Carr. I mean, maybe get a Darren Waller. I don't know if that's going to work out for us. I don't know if it'll fall for us, but It's a possibility, but there are a plethora of other running backs we could add from Vegas to the mix for a decent stack. Okay. But like I was saying about that Bears offense, I mean, it seemed like Darnell Mooney and then everybody. The information I was getting from the beat writers there for the Bears, by all indications, it's really anybody's contest after Darnell Mooney and the receiving core to be the second receiver. So really anybody could be cut or anybody could make that starting three. Did see a lot of Byron Pringle, Velus Jones, and Equanimous St. Brown actually played in a lot of four wide sets and a lot of red zone sets, which makes sense because of his size. As far as tight ends go for the Bears, Cole Kmet, I didn't see that much of him out there. I don't know if he was maybe a little bit banged up. Did see a lot of Ryan Griffin. Ryan Griffin looked like the best tight end out there to me. We'll see. Camp's kind of just getting underway. So 7 picks away. We currently have CeeDee Lamb and Devontae Adams on the roster. CeeDee Lamb, his value kind of being bolstered by injuries to James Washington, Michael Gallup right now. And so that means also that Jalen Tolbert's going to be somebody to maybe target later on. So 1 pick away. Let's see here. DJ Moore, James Conner, Cortland Sutton, Travis Etienne. I'm going to go with Travis Etienne here. Been hearing raves about him out of Jaguars camp, him being the star of it. And I just hadn't really had much exposure to him in these best ball drafts. So diversity is the name of the game in these large field tournaments. So with my pick after him, I feel like I want to take another running back here. I feel like it's going to be hard to get decent running backs soon. But Darren Waller's there. I could work on that stack. But I think I'm going to go with a running back. And I think I'm going to go with Breece Hall. Going young runners here. And something I'm looking at here too are the bye weeks. None of the players I've drafted yet have the same bye weeks, so that's a good thing. So the team that I've drafted this far: Travis Etienne, Brees Hall, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams. So I might start to look at stacks here. I mean, a Jacksonville stack, I'm not thrilled about the idea, but I'm guessing there will not be a lot of Jacksonville stacks in this contest overall. So if by chance it did hit, you could go far. Same with the New York Jets. And see, with these teams so far, I mean, they're all still, stacks are well within reach for all of them. Because I feel like Dallas is the best offense that you can get kind of a later stack on, because Dak's able to be acquired later. And the draft is kind of like at the end of the upper echelon quarterbacks where they're being drafted. So I've been able to get some decent Dallas stacks so far in these drafts. And everyone else, I mean, their quarterbacks, they're not going to be premium. So everyone else that I've drafted so far. So stacks should come easily. And so maybe I don't start building on a stack just yet. Maybe if there are other players that I still want with them. I mean, yeah, I mean, if George Kittle falls for tight end, that would be incredible. So we'll cue him. Some wishful thinking there. Jerry Jeudy, now that Tim Patrick is out of the picture. And so that reminds me too, KJ Hamler, somebody to target later on, as it looks like he's probably going to be that third receiver for the Broncos. It also makes Albert O, Greg Dulcich maybe more valuable picks a little bit later on. So 5 picks away. My boy David Montgomery. If I could get him, that would be great. Same with Darnell Mooney. If I could get David Montgomery and Darnell Mooney, that would be the beginning of a 6 stack. But if George Kittle were to fall here, I think I would have to go with him. We'll see what happens. 2 more picks before me. So I'll be able to get at least one of those guys. Okay. George Kittle fall. Okay. So David Montgomery. I'm going to take here. And then I'm going to try for Darnell Mooney with my next one. If not, I feel good about Josh Jacobs there. Michael Thomas. We're getting good news about him. Oh, he just went. Wow. Drake London. Okay, so we shall see. One more pick before we go. Oh, so I'm going to take Darnell Mooney here. All right. So teams so far: Travis Etienne, Brees Hall, David Montgomery, running backs, wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Darnell Mooney. Pretty stout team so far. And again, if this is, one of the first best ball drafts you're seeing, if you haven't done one of these best ball drafts, stacks, one of these large field best ball drafts, stacks are the name of the game. Um, so by stacking, I mean having a quarterback, running back, wide receiver from the same team, or quarterback, wide receiver, tight end from the same team. And so all these guys I picked so far, Etienne, Hall, Montgomery, Lamb, Adams, Mooney, I think I could still make stacks. I mean, I think all their quarterbacks are still available at this point in the draft. You know, I feel like the Dallas stack probably has the best potential of hitting, but I've already done several of these best ball drafts where I've made a Dallas stack. And so I'm kind of inclined here to work on the Chicago stack. Maybe it's just because I just was in Chicago for training camp there. But I think David Montgomery, Darnell Mooney, and a Justin Fields stack would be potentially really, really powerful just because I think in their own rights, all of those players are going to have really good fantasy years. So I'm going to see where I can get a Justin Fields. I mean, he's pretty low on that totem pole right now, quarterbacks. But I will queue him up. Not to. I'll queue up Derek Carr as well. Just because I have Devontae Adams, I can make a Raiders stack. I mean, Jacksonville and New York Jets, that's kind of, I don't even think I need to keep tabs on those quarterbacks. So if I wanted to make a stack with either of them, I think that'll be readily available later on. So 4 picks away. Some of these players who are available. I mean, I guess I could add a Christian Kirk or Hunter Renfro to add on to either that Jacksonville stack potentially or Raiders stack. Clyde Edwards-Helaire down there. That reminds me, Isaiah Pacheco apparently looks really good in camp right now. He's somebody I would consider late in one of these best ball drafts. But there's Dak Prescott right there. I mean, it's hard not to get on that Dallas stack just because I've gotten on them. I do want to get on Rashad Penny though. Drafting him where I can. Traylon Burks' conditioning looks like it's getting better. I mean, I'll queue Dak up there. I just have done so many of these with the Cowboy stack before. Chris Olave, definitely keep tabs on. So I don't think I'll have to draft somebody, one of these, either Justin Fields or Derek Carr with my next pick to build up on those stacks. So I think I'm either going to go with Traylon Burks, Dak Prescott, or Chris Olave. Or maybe even TJ Hawkinson, just because I think he's kind of the last of the potential really top tier tight ends. But I guess the theme of this draft has been going young so far, so I'll continue to do that. I'll take Traylon Burks here. So wide receivers thus far: CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Darnell Mooney, Traylon Burks. Running back: Travis Etienne, Brees Hall, David Montgomery, and Rashad Penny. God, I really like the look of this team so far. James, is Tony still available? No. Keeping 6 from Javonte, going to try for Broncos stack my drip. I mean, that's a really good move. So far, it looks like Javonte's getting like a 70-30 split in camp. I guess, we kind of had the idea that Melvin Gordon was going to split carries pretty evenly with Javonte, but kind of like last season. But it looks like they seem to be leaning in favor. But it might just be because the camp's just starting and they don't want to wear Gordon out. But that does make me optimistic for Javonte Williams getting a little bit bigger piece of the pie this season. And he really doesn't need the lion's share of carries to really do damage in fantasy. So any good news like that is great for Javonte owners. I mean, Dak Prescott's still around. I don't know. If he happened to fall to my next pick, I might have to take him there. Seems unlikely, but so maybe I'd take a tight end with this next pick. Dallas Goedert's there. Dawson Knox is there. I really feel like after them, I'm not too terribly interested. Keep an eye on Isaiah Spiller. Keep an eye on Garrett Wilson, just in case I want to build on that New Jersey stack. I could just shore up the Seattle backfield, take Ken Walker. So there are a lot of options here. Well, we'll see what these options are whenever they get to me in 6 picks, but seems like there are a lot of different ways we could still go at this point. I mean, and Dak is still there 3 picks ahead of me. I'm guessing, though, if not this pick, the next pick, we'll probably take him because he doesn't have a quarterback yet. Okay. Yeah, no. Dak there, but I think I'm going to go with Dallas Goedert. It's my first tight end. It's pretty solid, safe pick there. And coming around my next pick, I might take Derek Carr. As my first quarterback. Oh, he just went. That being the case, I'll probably just go ahead and take Justin Fields just so I can lock up that Chicago stack. Jalen Tolbert just went. Seems like he's moving up a little bit in these drafts, as he should. One more pick before mine. I feel like I'm making a little bit of a leap. The Justin Field pick right here, but I wanted to make sure I get this Chicago stack. Okay. So I feel a lot better about that. So right now, Justin Fields, Travis Etienne, Brees Hall, David Montgomery, Rashad Penny, running backs. The wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Darnell Mooney, Traylon Burks, and Dallas Goedert. It's really solid team thus far. That Chicago stack. Another stack I could build off of there. To work on that Raider stack. We could potentially get a Tennessee stack going. Get a Seattle stack going. I don't know if we want one. Same with the Jets and Jacksonville. I'd say out of Seattle, Jets, and Jacksonville, I mean, I feel like Zach Wilson's kind of has the best pieces around him offensively. So I feel like out of that group, maybe that's the stack I would try to make. Okay, so let's look at some of these other players who I like right now. Julio Jones, Tampa Bay. I mean, don't really know how that's going to pan out, but if Julio is healthy, like someone took him right as I was talking about him. So Damian Pierce out of Houston could end up being the lead back there. I like him. Cole Kmet I could maybe take later. I mean, add on to that Chicago stack. Michael Gallup we could take later in hopes that, he gets healthy soon and comes back to prime form. Darrell Henderson, sneaky pick back here. After just reading that Sean McVay thinks of him as a 1B or considers himself having two starting running backs. Deshaun Watson, I mean, he's going to miss 6 games, but at least, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Still a dicey pick. Pat Firemouth, I like. I don't know. We'll just cue Deshaun up. See what happens there. Nyheim Hines, I think he's going to catch a lot of passes. Tyler Algier could end up being the lead back in Atlanta. Okay, so 2 picks away. I'll probably take Damian Pierce here if he falls. And he does. I'm going to need to take another quarterback at some point. Not sure it's just yet, though. Like I was saying before, Albert O, I think maybe gets a boost now that Tim Patrick is gone. Nico Collins in Houston. No James Mechie around. Okay, my pick again. I feel like we're really getting value potentially on Michael Gallup here. He's not going to be ready for week one, but considering where you can draft him right now, I think you're getting value on him. Some other guys I like, Tyrion Davis Price, San Francisco. I think he could end up being kind of like a 1B in that backfield. I like Matt Ryan back here. I mean, because I think if I could get a Matt Ryan potentially and then a Paris Campbell. Daniel Jones. Alex really seems to like. I think maybe you're just getting value on him this late in the draft. Paris Campbell, like I said, I think he's going to catch a lot of balls if he can stay healthy. There we go. So 9 more picks away. Right now, the team, Justin Fields, Travis Etienne, Brees Hall, David Montgomery, Rashad Penny, Damian Pierce, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Darnell Mooney, Trillon Burks, Michael Gallup, Dallas Goedert. I think right now I'm probably best served to take another quarterback or tight end this next pick. Yeah, James Cook opening eyes. I liked James Cook pre-draft. I mean, he's Dalvin Cook's little brother. He's a little bit smaller than Dalvin, but I think he really fits into what the Bills are doing. Okay, 4 picks away. So I have Tua queued up. I'm not going to take Tua. I feel like I'm going to take another tight end here, either Gesicki or Alberto. See, look at bye weeks for these tight ends. Dallas got over week 7 bye. So either one of those guys I think would be safe to take. And it's going to be Alberto, who I think maybe gets a boost now that Tim Patrick is out of the picture in Denver. All right, so kind of just looking at the roster now. some potential stacks I could make. Let's look at these quarterbacks. Could make a Jet stack, could make a Tennessee stack, could make a Houston stack. So it's me again. I think I'm going to go with Matt Ryan here, unless Fields has a week 14. So I can't go with Matt Ryan there. Not going to go with Matt Ryan there. But I will go with Paris Campbell. Decided not to go with Matt Ryan there just because the week 14 bye. I got 4 more picks in this draft. Just kind of just looking at the team. Tight ends, Dallas Goddard, Albert O. I like those a lot. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Darnell Mooney, Traylon Burks, Michael Gallup, Paris Campbell. I really think you can't go wrong with any of those guys, especially where you can get them right now. Running backs, Travis Etienne, Breece Hall, David Montgomery, Rashad Penny, Dameon Pierce. Quarterback, Justin Fields. So I'm going to need to add another quarterback to this mix and maybe another running back. I think those will be my next 2 priorities. Running backs who I like a little bit. Tyrion Davis Price, like I said. Mark Ingram, could potentially be the starter for 6 games for the Saints. Deontay Foreman. Never a bad bet to put on the team, especially, Christian McCaffrey. When's the last time he finished a season completely? Zamir White in Las Vegas. Kenyon Drake in Las Vegas, too. Could be a big part of that passing game. Isaiah Pacheco, who I talked about a little bit earlier, in Kansas City, looks good right now. Tyler Batty has an outside chance to make some waves in Baltimore with both J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards being injured right now. Okay. Quarterbacks. Zach Wilson, I can make a stack with. Ryan Tannehill, I could still make a stack with. Davis Mills, I could make some sort of stack with. And that's probably the best combination at this point. So let's see what other wide receivers. Oh, Wan'Dale Robinson's still available. He looks like the real deal for the Giants. Oh, Romeo Dove just went. Okay. I think I kind of have to take Wan'Dale Robinson here. There's too much upside. So 3 picks left. I could go for an Austin Hooper, Ryan Tannehill, Traylon Burke stack. I think that might be the best way to go. If it pans out. Okay, so Tannehill. As my second quarterback. And in this part of I think I got 2 picks left. This part of the draft, this is kind of where I'm just kind of taking some guys who I think might hit that a lot of other people probably aren't drafting right now. I mean, you could take a shot at Odell Beckham and hope that he lands somewhere good. AJ Green, I like at least for the first 6 games. Evan Ingram in Jacksonville. Hold up, let me see something. Okay, no Trevor Lawrence, so I couldn't make a back end Jacksonville stack. I mean, I guess I could still make a Jet stack, but I'm not sure what other Jets are still floating around besides Zach Wilson. Um, Byron Pringle there in Chicago. Could add to that stack. No, I didn't want Jalen Good. Thalos Jones, though, could be a big piece of that Bears offense. Let's see, 2 left. Let's see. I think maybe I get a little crazy here and add Isaiah Pacheco, who I've been hearing good things about in Kansas City. I mean, to win one of these large field tournaments, you're going to have to make probably at least one pick in your draft that nobody else is on. So I'll throw Pacheco in there. And I got one more pick. I'm thinking either Zamir White or Kenyon Drake. Let's just see who else is still available. Oh, and that's me. Last pick. Let's go with AJ Green and hope that he capitalizes off of Hopkins' absence and continues to maintain some sort of fantasy relevance after that. All right, so there we go. Justin Fields, Ryan Tannehill's quarterbacks, Travis Etienne, Breece Hall, David Montgomery, Rashad Penny, Damian Pierce, Isaiah Pacheco as running backs. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Darnell Mooney, Treylon Burks, Michael Gallup, Paris Campbell, Wan'Dale Robinson, AJ Green. I really like this receiver core. And then tight ends, Dallas Goedert and Albert O. Stout there. All right, another successful draft using our best ball cheat sheet here at rosterwatch.com. Hopefully you're able to take part in the draft as well. If not, hopefully you're able to take some of this info, some of this strategy into your next best ball draft. This has been the Trashman on behalf of rosterwatch.com. Thanks for hanging out with me. Jalen Tolbert does look good. I think he could be the Cowboys' number 2 right now, James. Especially considering what's going on back there injury-wise. We liked Tolbert at the Senior Bowl. Semi Feheko looks nice too. That's true. Yeah, a lot left that can still happen in this preseason. And, we'll kind of get a better idea at some of these players on some of these offenses that aren't terribly exciting. Like this Bears offense. I just went and saw their training camp. We're going to see in the upcoming weeks those pictures clear up a bit. So it'll be fun to do some best ball 3 drafts, after we kind of get a better idea of what's going on in some of these offenses where there's a lot left up to grabs. Anyway, this has been the Trash Man on behalf of rosterwatch.com. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you next Thursday at some point for another UnderdogFantasy.com best ball 3 draft. Till next time, be ready.